AliExpress is full of absolute bargain watches, and they're all well and good. But sometimes it's nice to indulge ourselves and dream about spending a few grand on a handful of watches that could basically finish a collection. So here are the absolute best watches on AliExpress right now, in my opinion, of course. You might disagree, so feel free to shout about it in the comments. Right, let's get on with it. Farasute are now making watches at a level where I could blindfold myself, throw a dart and still land on something that's best in class worthy. The 4130 Chronograph in particular is so close to being basically flawless, almost perfect, but not perfectly perfect. And that one imperfection is not only enough to toss it from this list, but to banish it from ever getting within 6,000 miles of my wrist. The problem? Creative and classic. There are no words. So instead, I've gone for this stunning little tank style dress watch because, as a graphic designer by day, I was deep down the 1920s and 30s Art Deco rabbit hole during my university days and have never really climbed out. I'm still heavily influenced by the likes of AM Cassandra in my work today, and just like my own stuff, this thing takes that classic Art Deco backbone and drags it kicking and screaming into the modern day. It's familiar, not dusty, like Eminem rapping over a Charleston dance banger. Plus, just look at it. It's tank inspired obviously, but it's an original design. It feels like someone actually sketched this out in paper before a CNC machine got involved, probably under the watchful eye of someone in a lab coat and a hairnet. The whole thing is pure Art Deco, but Art Deco that's been to the gym and has its own nutritionalist. Everything's scaled up. So it doesn't read like a tiny vintage piece, it reads like a modern watch that just happens to speak fluent 1930s. The finishing looks spot on, fine brushing, mirror polishing and sharp transitions. But the real flex is that movement. A proper rectangular hand-wound movement shaped for the case with custom bridges. That level of effort on a movement like this is normally where prices start getting silly, like multiple thousand silly. Instead, this one's sitting under 300 quid, which is mad. So yeah, a gym bro with a liking for 1930s experimental jazz, original design and a movement that absolutely should not exist at this price. That's why this one's on my list. This list wouldn't be finished without at least one San Martin, maybe 10 if we're being honest. They've been dropping banger after banger for so long that if you're new to the whole quality Chinese watches thing, it can actually get a little overwhelming. So let's take a step back, forget the bonkers finishes, the more experimental stuff and the toddler mashed Play-Doh ball of colours for a second. Let's talk versatility, street cred and quality that speaks for itself. And for that, I'll go back to one of the OGs. One of the watches that actually made collectors look up from their Swiss catalogues and admit that something interesting was happening in China. The San Martin SN0017, or more specifically here, the updated version 3. Familiar look? Check. Versatility? Check. And quality? Not just check, but genuinely closer in case finishing to the watch it's pretending to be than it has any right to. Yes, it's not trying to be original in any way, but that's sort of the point. And honestly, the pool of dive watches that haven't borrowed design cues from the subby is probably about the size of a child's inflatable paddling ring. You get the usual San Martin expectations: steel case, sapphire crystal, 200 metres of water resistance. But one thing that's always felt a bit clunky on earlier version of this was the movement. That low beat NH35 never quite matched how serious the rest of the watch was. Thankfully, version 3 fixes that. Along with a few small finishing updates, it gets a proper 4Hz movement, the PT5000, which instantly makes the whole thing feel more grown up. Sticks Swiss made on the dial, and people genuinely wouldn't think twice about parting ways with a couple of grand for this. So at around 250 quid, it's borderline stupid value. This is a watch that could outlast a lot of Swiss pieces, especially some of those plastic cogged Powermatics floating around, and still look relevant in 20 years, maybe even 50. You know a brand is onto something special when it drops a homage so good it sends the original maker into a legal meltdown. Lawyers, court cases, the full Monty. The plan was to shut down so hard that it didn't get any exposure in the Western world, but weirdly, in some ways, it's had the opposite effect. It made a lot of normies in the watch community suddenly realise the kind of quality actually out there on AliExpress. Ixdao, Ixdao, Nindao, Jodao, however you pronounce it, the name sounds ridiculous. Thankfully, these days it barely shows up on the dial, which feels like it will save you from some awkward conversations down the pub. Despite the ban, the engineer is still floating around AliExpress, but now it's all a bit cloak and dagger. No proper press shots, just weird crop dial close-ups like someone's trying to sell you a watch from witness protection. That version is a bit too copy-paste for me. Impressive, sure, but I still want something interesting to look at. Even small differences matter. I just don't want a really well-made photocopy. Which is exactly why this one makes the list. Yes, it's clearly a homage to a certain Berkshire-designed Swiss-made piece, but here, homage is the word, not clone. And the dial is where it really earns the word homage. It's a different dial entirely. Mother of pearl with a Tang Dynasty chainmail pattern. It's a neat way of stitching some Chinese history into what's otherwise a very Swiss design language. The seconds hand is where the subtle Christopher Ward DNA sneaks in, just enough to tip its hat without turning into a replica. Specs are exactly what you'd expect from a proper AliExpress heavy hitter. A 37.5mm steel case, 44.5mm lug-to-lug, integrated bracelet, sapphire crystal, 100 metres of water resistance and a 4Hz Eniton 9015 inside. And no, this isn't your 70 quid beater, but at around £335, it's priced right at the entry point of a quartz PRX. And honestly, which one would you rather have on your wrist? If there was an award for the watch brand with the biggest balls on AliExpress, then Lucky Harvey wouldn't just win it every year, they'd be the first entry into the AliExpress Hall of Fame. Firstly, by producing one of the most unnecessarily wild watches out there. Secondly, by somehow making it properly good. And thirdly, by sticking with a name that sounds like a character from a Guy Ritchie film, whilst completely ignoring the haters who, by sheer coincidence, are also here for the first two reasons. I've featured the Chiming watch before, but this time it's new and improved. And you can tell they've actually listened to feedback. Which is interesting because it proves Lucky Harvey can listen. They're just more interested in making the hard changes rather than the easy ones. The case has been reshaped, making the dimensions more wearable. The dial has been updated with a more grown-up finish, but the biggest change, and the one I was personally screaming for, is putting the chiming mechanism on display. And thankfully, they've done it. Not because of me, obviously, but clearly someone more important was shouting the same thing. And they've actually thought about how they've done it. Instead of pretending this came from somewhere near the Alps and slapping on a cowbell design, they're leaning into their Chinese heritage. The chiming hammer is styled on ancient Chinese Banchin chiming stones, which is both culturally on point and just objectively cooler. This thing also looks proper high-end, like actual top-tier finishing. You get a 40mm titanium case, a titanium bracelet with a clever quick-change system, a colour-coded rubber strap, and an in-house automatic movement with chiming complication and a big date. It's running at 28,800 vibrations per hour with a 40-hour power reserve. Now look, this isn't cheap. At around £2,000 this is serious money. But this also isn't a watch built from run-of-the-mill parts and generic finishes. This is luxury, and it's still priced below some bog-standard Tissot's. And for that £2,000, they've at least removed any reference to Lucky Harvey from the dial, which honestly has to be worth something on its own. I've never fully got the point of a moonphase complication. Sure, I'm sure it has its uses, but if my life depended on knowing the phases of the moon, I could simply go outside and look up and frantically try to remember that Jaffa Cakes advert from the early 2000s. That said, mechanical watchmaking isn't really about function anymore. It's an art form first. and a moonphase on the dial looked cool, but a moonphase that takes over the entire dial, that's just showing off. And I'm absolutely here for it. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking this Agelocer is just a cheap knockoff of things like the Christopher Ward C1 or the Arnold & Son Perpetual Moon. The kind that just sticks a moon disc on a 31-day date wheel and pretends it's a complication. And yes, you'd be partially right. That old version existed, but now it's gone. This is the new one, and it works completely differently. It's not just a token moonphase anymore, it's actually more accurate than a lot of so-called proper moonphases. Most are accurate to about 2.6 years before they need correcting. Agelocer have designed a bespoke moon disc that pushes that to around 4 years of continuous runtime, which is impressive whether you're planning your next werewolf hunting trip or not. And that accuracy would be pointless if it died overnight. So they paired it with an in-house developed movement with an 80-hour power reserve, which at least gives the complication a fighting chance of staying accurate in the real world. Agelocer have definitely made some questionable claims in the past, and they've taken a bit of a beating for it. But to their credit, they do seem to be learning. The designs are getting better, the specs are getting more serious, and they've clearly brought in people with actual luxury market experience. The watch comes in a ridiculous number of finishes. It's basically the Burger King menu of moonphase options. But for me, that grey dial with that sand grain texture is the one. In fact, I've got one on the way as we speak. So, watch this space, literally. And price-wise, it's currently sitting at around £560 on AliExpress. But if you want to be even remotely sensible about it, it's on sale on their own website for about £365, which suddenly makes the whole thing a lot more tempting. This is one of those brands where you already know the comment section is going to correct your pronunciation before you've even finished the sentence. And I've featured this brand before, so I'm speaking from experience. But I've made peace with it. I will say it wrong, confidently wrong. But however you pronounce HUASUO, this one is in existence for one reason, that dial. This isn't a texture, it's not a stamped pattern, it's traditional Chinese rhinoceros lacquer, layered by hand, left to cure, cut back and polished again and again and again. It can take weeks, sometimes months, which means every single dial is genuinely unique. Not marketing unique, actually physically different. Yours will not look like mine or anyone else's, and that's part of the appeal. This version keeps everything else deliberately quiet. Sensible case, clean design and nothing else trying to steal the attention. The whole point is that the dial does the talking, which honestly makes this your moment to get your own back. You know when your other half comes back from the nail salon, holds their hands up and expects you to react like you've just witnessed the Sistine Chapel ceiling? This is that, but for you. Same energy and same expectation of admiration. Expect the same reaction or give her the cold shoulder for the rest of the night while saying I'm fine whenever she asks what's wrong. And yes, Mrs. Loomed is getting ready for a girls' night out as I write this. Specs are kept sensible for exactly that reason. A 38mm case, slim profile, double dome sapphire, 50 metres of water resistance and a display case back. You get it with a PT5000 for around £350, or if you want to go all posh, which is probably what it deserves, a Sellita SW200 for around £450. Eniton have been causing a bit of a stir on AliExpress lately, and for once, it's for the right reasons. They seem to have finally moved out of the phase where people were sceptical about their claims and into the phase where reviews are coming out and their claims are being proven right. At this point, there's not much debate. What they've been producing has been consistently well made, properly thought through, and more importantly, they've been tackling homages that other brands have very carefully avoided. So this one feels almost like an indulgence for them. Because this is a homage of one of the most famous and recognisable watches on the planet. There's no left field risk here. They know exactly what this is, they know it will sell, and that usually means one thing. This is where you expect them to go all in on the execution. And honestly, I expect it to be absolutely stuffed with goodness. The icing on the cake is that this is the 38mm version, which immediately makes it more suitable for actual human wrists instead of assuming everyone's built like a door frame. And while the shape is pure integrated bracelet royalty, they haven't completely turned their brain off. The dial colours are where they've had some fun, lilac and teal alongside more sensible silver and panda options. The lilac in particular has me properly hooked. And if you know me, you'll know that lilac is the natural extension of my aggressively macho energy, obviously. The really interesting bit though is the movement choice. They could have played safe and thrown a ST19 in here and called it a day, but instead they've gone with a Peacock SL4801, a vertical clutch common wheel automatic chronograph running at 28,800 vibrations per hour with flyback functionality. That movement alone tells you this isn't a box ticking exercise. It's a proper modern automatic chronograph calibre, and I'm genuinely excited to see it used in more watches. And yes, with that level of finishing and that movement, this was never going to be cheap. But for an extremely high spec integrated chronograph coming in under £470, it feels like ridiculous value for what you're getting. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.